Greetings. Good evening. Welcome back. Well, welcome back to me, as I was out of town this past weekend. But we are now back. Hello. We return to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I believe we're in, officially, I believe we are in Act 2. Double check. Is it this one? Just realized I hit the same button again. Yes, so we're in the later part of chapter 2, which is more open exploratory, because there's a lot of space travel stuff we can do. So we're gonna do a little bit of that. Story time, what did you do? So Lamb and I went to Disney World with some of my family, because it had been a while since we'd gone on a trip of any kind with my family, and my parents wanted to have everybody meet up and do Disney World. So we flew to Orlando for the weekend, and we went to Epic Universe, I believe is what it's called. Lamb got to spend her B-Day at Disney World. We flew out after her birthday, but yes, it was her birthday weekend. She did get to wear a little pin. I don't know if she's going to talk about that in the Discord, but she did get to spend some time with the birthday accompaniment at Disney World. We did Epic Universe. We only really had time to go to 2 places, just because we still had work that we had to go do. So we basically flew in Friday, and then we went to Epic Universe on Saturday, and then we went to Magical Kingdom on Sunday, I believe, which is very fun. I'm not really a huge roller coaster person these days, although not to say I wouldn't. I just didn't have a ton of interest doing it this time, but I did like seeing a bunch of the sites. I'd never been to Epic Universe before. Disney World I went to like 25 years ago, I think, when I was like a little kid. So I remember a little bit about it, but Epic Universe, they had like, Mario World, they had they did have I think it's called Dark Universe, or Dark Universe? It was something like dark, like the darker stories, like Frankenstein and Dracula and the werewolf and stuff like that. And while we were at Epic, actually, it was potentially going to rain, and then it rained really hard while we were there. So we walked through the Dark Universe area while it was raining, which is very aesthetic. But then we got to I believe it's I don't know what it was called, but it was basically like this this mashup ride of like Frankenstein and Dracula and a couple of other things. And we went in there to get out of the rain. And the more we were walking through it, the more I realized, I don't know if I want to do this, because like Lamb was not interested once she found out a few things that the ride was going to do. And then as soon as we saw like the warning list of like, here's all the things that might happen, so if you have any like problems with any of these things, don't go on the ride. And when I was a very small child, I went on the Haunted Mansion ride, which I understand is not that scary. But when you're a small kid and you don't really like the dark, and you don't really like spooky things, it scared me a lot. And as soon as we went in there, there was a bunch of stuff, because the Haunted Mansion was actually closed this time, and my family was riffing me about it because they wanted me to go on it again, which I was not going to go on it again, even if it was open. And then my mom said after they got off of this ride, because Lamb and I sat out in the gift shop while we waited for them to get back. And when they got back, my mom was like, oh, you would have hated that. You would not have liked that at all. So I was glad that I did not go. But we did do some stuff in Mario World. We did do, we walked around the whole area. They had the Isle of Berk for How to Train Your Dragon, which we almost did a coaster there, but it started raining while we were there, and we didn't want to wait in line for a coaster while it was raining. And then they had the so there's I think 2 different Harry Potter ones. The one that was there was the Ministry of Magic one, which was very aesthetic. It's definitely the kind of thing where, like, if I was a kid, like I would have been absolutely blown away. Like, it was still really cool overall being at the park. And then Magical Kingdom has like the classic areas, with, like, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean and the Jungle Cruise, and we went to Tomorrowland, and we did the Carousel of Progress, which was really cool. Which I didn't know they update it, but they do, apparently. Because they had some stuff about VR and, like, voice-controlled appliances, which was really cool. And then, what else? Yeah, overall, I mean, it was very fun. It was, you know, I can't really say that my time spent with my family is ever relaxing, per se, because it's usually just doing a lot of stuff, but it was fun. I did enjoy spending time with my family. And yeah, that's basically the summary of the trip. Like, we went to Disney World, we did some stuff, and then we got home early on Monday, and we did not go to work on Monday because we probably could have gone to work and worked like a half day, but like it was not worth it. We got home like after work would have started. We'd already been on a flight for 4 hours, and we'd had to get up at like 3 in the morning or something to go to the flight. So we just took the day off. Need a vacation from the vacation? Yes, that is what it felt like. I enjoy seeing my nieces and my niece and nephew. They are very sweet. I do enjoy seeing my siblings, but yeah, it's especially when you go to like Disney World. Like, I am an ambivert, so I do like doing some like extroverted stuff, but I do have like a battery, and as soon as that battery is run out, I just want to do nothing. And that's kind of what I felt. Is when we were done at Disney World, I was like, okay, I'm like socialed out for at least the next 12 hours, 24 hours. I want to lay down. So, but all of that aside, we are starting at a normal time today. Thursday, we're going to start a little later. I have some stuff that we're going to have to go do. But whenever we finish that, if that changes, I'll bump Blue Sky and the Discord on if the time changes. I didn't make a schedule card for it this week just because I did not feel like doing it yesterday whenever I got home from the flight. So instead, I just posted it in the Discord, and I'll just bump it on Blue Sky. And I think I adjusted it in Twitch as well, but if I haven't, I'll go update that today. Oh, thanks, Ass. Oh, and I do actually have, I think I have the bot set up to auto post the Discord every so often. We'll see if it works. It does have a limit where it needs to have seen a certain number of text chats that aren't just me. So, like, if I'm using my commands to post stuff, it doesn't count my commands for the purposes of that. Want to link it since you mentioned it. Well, thank you for linking it. Good job modding. Okay, so back into Rogue Trader. So we managed to do all the stuff we needed to do on the station. and now we're kind of exploring the world. Now, got a lurk money for Woo's events. Oh, well, I'm so excited to hear Wolfles is doing the subathon. I hope it goes well. So yes, please feel free to go tune into that. Like go pay attention to that, Sass. It's fun. So now we're doing some exploratory stuff. So we will probably have to do some space fights. We might have to land planetside a couple of times, but we're gonna start with a fight with some pirates. All right, here we go.
I'll be your beacon in the darkness.
Okay. So I do think the space combat's very interesting because you have, like, inertia. So, like, for example, you have to end in one of these, which is kind of cool. Let's go here. And I want to do this. That's some damage. And then we'll dorsal fire at you. Okay. So what did that do? Disengaging. Tries to disengage from combat. Can I turn around enough to do anything else to you? I could do this. Oh, the explosion actually does damage to me too. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so then let's do this. And then we'll try and rotate the rest of the way. No. Okay. I don't think we can do... Okay, I think that's all we can do with that. Interesting, so there's abilities that you can only use during certain phases. Oh? Why did it zoom in for those attacks specifically? Okay, so... let's do a full U-turn. Swing run. Interesting. Okay. Can we hit anything? No.
The time has come.
No, unfortunately not. But that's okay. Alright, so we are taking a little damage. Okay, so... only works on torpedo salvos that were launched on another turn. Oh, I don't have any torpedoes, I don't think. Okay, I need to get a torpedo so that we can actually use this ability. Okay, so let's go this way. And we will use the dorsal cannons. And we'll do this. Okay, it might start trying to run. Let's go this way. This might damage us again. Oh, actually, maybe it doesn't damage us? Okay. Okay, let's just go as far away as we can. And then we'll rotate around the other way afterwards. Yeah, so let's do a full
Set the course.
swing run. We do a full U-turn at the end of movement, and then we can't hit with anything but the lance weapon.
Lay in the course.
All right. Nope, that's all we got. So he's going to be able to shoot. That much. Okay, so let's just start firing at you.
Another salvo.
Okay, and then go here to do a port side firing of our plasma batteries. All right. Got some XP, we got some machinery, and we got some scrap. Okay, so question. Do we have void ship management? So, weapons. I do have some torpedo tubes. Okay, so I think we actually do want to switch out maybe the short-range battery for that. We have some scrap, so we could actually upgrade our stuff. Or we could repair. Well, let's do a repair. And then let's upgrade our hull. We'll do that twice. And then we'll upgrade our RAM once. It doesn't seem to... There doesn't seem to be a downside to upgrade this. Unless I'm mistaken. But it looks like I can downgrade for the same cost that it's upgraded. Okay, so we'll do that and see how that feels. Do a quick scan. There's probably a pirate base here. Plasteel and a tomb. Yes. Alright, so we'll start getting plasteel. Imperium cartographers and chroniclers know this place well. Long ago, the planet was a prosperous outpost, capable of eclipsing even footfall. There used to be a Cyclopean tomb station on its orbit, the final resting place of Cornelius Soto, one of the discoverers of the Coronis Expanse. The tomb gave its name to the entire system. However, about 400 years ago, an unknown cosmic body rammed into the station, causing it to collapse onto the planet. Not only did the catastrophe kill the settlers, it also made the world uninhabitable for centuries. The crater formed by the station's impact can still be observed from orbit. Soto's tomb became a sepulchre for the entire planet. This sordid place has neither life nor loot, but knowing the nasty tricks that life can pull is a treasure in its own right. Okay, well, we got plasteel, so there's that at least. So I guess let's go... How do we leave? Oh, here we go. Map of the expanse. Okay, so... I do like that it's literally just the bridge. Like, it's the map that's in the bridge. Deus Mechanicus, bless the machine. Okay, so we are currently here. As I am now fated to be your shadow, Doman Deckard, we must perform a ritual that will seal our bond, for it pleases the Undying One. Let us speak on the bridge, and I will take us to a place appropriate for the ritual. What is this ritual? Come, and you will see. I do not wish to speak of the mysteries of the blood-spun web over the Vox. This knowledge is not meant for the ears of the uninitiated. Well, I will be there. Thank you, Doman. I wish to inform you that the sacred rituals addressed to the spirit of the ship have been performed. The tech liturgy of the rite of the machine blessing ended with a data meditation in order to comprehend the nature of the miracle sent down by the Omnissiah. Acquisition of sacred knowledge has not been recorded. How the spirit of the void ship was able to call upon the power of the machine god and activate the warp drive remains an unknown. Yet during my meditative ritual, the Omnissiah gave me an equally valuable revelation. The sacred spirit that lives in the bowels of the ship's mechanisms differs from other analogous forms. This spirit holds a unique power that cannot be called anything less than a blessing of the machine god. What does this mean? Hypothesis. In extremis, the ship's spirit is capable of making unpredictable calculations and actions. It is impossible to predict how it will behave in any given situation, but I believe the spirit is currently showing obedience, at least for now. I recommend that we continue monitoring the ship and be prepared for new manifestations. The report is received. Thank you, Pascal. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Okay. Let's go to the bridge, because Cabela wanted to talk to us. So let's go talk to her. Okay, she was over here. Hello, Cabela.
Domin.
Cabela puts away the dagger she's been using to reopen her freshly closed wounds. You know what? We haven't actually talked to her, so can you tell me about the Emperor's Tarot?
I use blood to read his sacred cards and hear the whisper of the Undying One. His tarot is not an answer, but a question I ask of the universe. And the universe answers with questions of its own. In this sacred communion, I perceive hundreds of possible outcomes. They are all true, and yet they are only visions. I know what will come to pass, and yet I do not.
I see. How did you come to have a deck?
It is a holy relic that has been passed down from generation to generation. Only the first and second spinners are allowed to study the sacred cards and interpret their meaning. We use his tarot to guide the cult and discern the tangled threads of fate.
So I'm curious to see how many cards are in your deck, because I wonder if it's a full tarot deck or if you only have some from them being passed down.
34. There used to be more, but some have perished in the darkness of time. Their loss is a great tragedy for the blood-spun web.
That's about what I figured. I mean, it is a deck of cards that's probably generations old at this point. Can you give me a reading?
Ask the cards, Domin, and I will listen.
She carefully takes out her Imperial Tarot deck. A black blade flashes before your eyes and blood drips from her palm onto the cards. She closes her eyes and listens. What does the future hold for me? She draws 4 cards from the deck and lays them face down before you.
The first card is the young warrior. It suggests inexperience, a path of becoming. The second card is the shattered world inverted. The path will have twists, turns, and thorns, but you will gather allies along the way and find what was lost.
I see.
The third, the hound inverted. Someone has marked you as their prey and is chasing you through a field of traps. The lost child. You will leap into one of those traps of your own free will and place your trust in someone truly desperate.
I see. Okay. What else we got? Yeah, you always address me as Doman. What does the word mean?
The Gothic we use to communicate is different to that spoken on the upper decks. Domin has many meanings. Giver of life, Lord or Lady of the Ark, and Shadowless Sun. The matriarch Spider gave this title to the rogue trader who allowed her to form the blood-spun web. We use other titles as well. For example, Venai means Master of the Immaterium, or Watcher of the Veil. Vil means one who must go to the other side. Amic means one you can trust in battle.
I see. Did you ever meet Theodora von Valencius?
I met her once when I was young. The Vizier saw a serpent hiding among those close to Domin Theodora, ready to sink its fangs into her throat. I was ordered to find the serpent and sever the soul from its body. I watched and waited for weeks. I hid among the shadows, the air ducts and the faceless masses. Once I found the serpent, I sliced off its head and returned to the temple. I doubt that Domin Theodora ever saw me, but the 3 ritual cuts I left behind on the body let her know that this death was pleasing to him. They sent us a grand feast from the upper decks before the cycle's end. We gave it to the hungry.
Okay, so they're a little weird, but I do think that broadly they're good for the ship. Okay. Do you have anything to tell me about yourself?
I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. A spear in the hand of the undying Emperor. I am your shield and shadow. Your blade.
Interesting. So, I never thought about this, but because... So, I don't have party members assigned to me here, which means that I don't have their stats. So my awareness is not very good whenever I don't have a person with me. Which means I can't ask her more directly about this. Or, well, I can, but I'm probably going to fail. We'll ask anyway. How succinct? Do you just like talking about yourself?
The tenets compel us to let our deeds speak on our behalf. There is no one in the cult who does not know me. So I have grown accustomed to taciturnity in matters regarding myself. Ask, and I will try to give you an answer that will satisfy your thirst for knowledge.
Oh, we have an ad starting soon, so... we'll just let the ad play. We're just listening a little bit about Cabela. So, your fighting style is unique. Do you think it is something I can learn?
None dispute your skill in close combat. Your body is well hardened, and perhaps you could even learn some of our techniques. Our art, however, is more than just patterns of movement. It is one's ability to give oneself completely to the dance of death. To fight as we do, you would have to empty your being, to start anew, to reject both the title of Domin and all the memories of your own past.
Okay, well then we're not going to do that. Thank you for sharing with me.
It is not difficult to speak the truth.
Fair enough. I am ready for the binding ritual.
Then follow me, Domin.
Okay, it didn't prompt me to get a group together. Okay, is this ink? Is this blood? What is this?
Are you ready to step into the labyrinth, Domin?
Used a peculiar semblance of an athletic exercise or movements tracing an inscrutable pattern. What is on the floor?
Instructions, directions, a depiction of the puzzle that can only be solved within one's own consciousness by following its bends and turnings. I do not require these lines to find my way, but for you, they will serve as a guiding thread.
What are we gonna do?
This is the ritual of binding. By the Undying One's will, our fates are now as one. But I must still guide you into the maze of my mind. Although it is my predestination alone to walk its corridors in search of answers, your image must become part of the tangle. For I am your shadow, Domin, and your presence will aid me in sensing whatever threats may be looming over you.
Okay. Well, I'm ready, Ibala. Let us begin.
Your weapon for the ritual. Watch the lines on the floor. You can only pass through the gaps. The rest, you need not know. Enter the labyrinth, Domin.
Bells curtly and assumes a combat stance. Oh. Okay, this is cool. I like the idea of using
You are
the
now
labyrinth.
upon the path. Your shadow now walks the labyrinth, and my gaze can now see when danger draws near you.
I do wish that they had done a little bit more about making it so that the movements were inside the labyrinth. But yeah, so you're basically following along the path to the middle where you're fighting, which is very cool. This fight, what a captivating expression of your culture.
We are not doing this for your amusement, Domin, nor is it an expression. That which you do not comprehend still has meaning.
I did not mean to offend you.
Your words have caused no offense.
I only seek to understand why this matters to understand.
Understand me? Why, Domin? My fate is preordained, and our places assigned. We both must serve the Undying One, as his design foretells. But if such is indeed your wish...
Okay.
My path of service to the Undying Emperor is one of many twists and pitfalls. Every mind is fraught with weakness, and only by honing it tirelessly can one achieve focus and prime one's perception. I envision the tenets of the web as a maze of tangles and dead ends. Each time I go into a trance, be it one of the soul or of battle, I walk this path from beginning to end. And now that you're a part of it, you will be there with me when next I enter the labyrinth.
Ah, okay. So it's kind of a it's a ritual that like allows her to hone her senses.
You may deem it strange. You live in a world so far removed from my own that such rituals must seem absurd to you. I am sure I would find your rituals equally mystifying.
She permits herself to smile in the very corners of her mouth, and a spark of flustered curiosity lights up in her normally aloof gaze. Ooh, okay. Can we Can we humanize her a bit? To an outside observer, what happened here would have looked like an ordinary fight, but your senses grasp something more. They allow you to perceive a fragile bond that is formed between the two of you in the midst of this blade dance. It is as if Kibila's mind has opened up, reached out to yours, and acquainted itself with it. A surprising display of power and direction for someone who possesses no psychic abilities, or appears to be unaware of their own gift. My ritual? What do you mean?
You are empowered by the will of the Undying One himself. And yet, when I look at your life, I am surprised. You follow a different thread. One that does not seem as strict to your thoughts and deeds. There is so much luster.
Interesting. Would you like to see my world? You've allowed me to witness one of your rituals. It's only fair that I show you one of mine.
To partake in one of your ceremonies? Returning the courtesy. That is how you say it up here, isn't it? I will await your invitation.
Oh, I like her.
The labyrinth has accepted you. We have danced amid the crossing lines and minds, and by the dance, we are now bound.
Oh, apparently we have an option to talk to the high factotum? Okay, where is the high factotum? It's over here somewhere, I think. Right? There you are. The high factotum Jonrus Dunrock greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of a bow. Pleasure to see you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance? Ooh, okay. We could replace Theodora's portrait. Good to know. No, I would like to introduce Kibila to some of the customs practiced among people of my stature. Show her what life is like on the upper deck, so to speak. Your lordship is most courteous, but what exactly did you have in mind? I don't think that she would be as interested in the warp translation ritual. That's a good question. Officers' report meeting might be of interest to her. It would probably resemble some of their, like, debriefs that they do. Social event, I think it'd be interesting to see her at a social event. I don't think that she'd be as interested. I think the one that she would enjoy the most is probably the officer meeting, if I had to guess. Because this is the one that's going to be, like, the closest to something that she's familiar with. So yeah, what about an officer's report meeting? Okay, yeah, so we'll do that. Oh, your lordship, to be perfectly frank, even I struggle to stay awake at those meetings. Poor Mistress Kibila would surely not last long amid all the droning and tedium. Generous adjusts his frock coat and nods enigmatically. Oh, I will see what can be arranged, and do not worry for a single moment. I promise to find the most suitable approach. I'll contact you the moment I have something to offer. Let's see. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you exactly? We most often deal with the followers of St. Drusus, the Explorators, the Kaspalica Mission, or, Emperor forgive us, the Fellowship of the Void. What did the followers of St. Drusus acquire from us? The Drusians still hope to bring the Coronis expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign the rogue trader himself believes in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians and is often seen in Pitfall's Grand Atrium. A gloomy fellow, but someone must believe him to be a saint. Okay, we don't need to ask about that. Rindu and I are in need of training. What? Oh, to reset their progress. Oh, I think you can use that to reset your class. Okay, well that's interesting, but I don't need to do that right now. Okay, let's go back to the star map. So, let's see. You can do a safe route. Or we can make the route. We can just do it directly, which is dangerous. Okay, let's just try doing this to make the route safer. Oh, there was another thing that I just didn't even notice. Permission to report, Lord Captain. I keep receiving messages about strange behaviors in certain ship systems. All decks report the uncontrollable opening and closing of doors, gates, and airlocks. They behave erratically and do not obey the operator's commands. Regrettably, this has led to casualties among the crew. The deck priests have explained these phenomena are being caused by the machine spirit's irascibility and have spent hours chanting litanies to soothe their anger. Unfortunately, many crew members were badly injured before the prayers could stabilize the systems. The High Factor's voice rings with pride. Lord Captain, I have done as commanded. Everything has been prepared for your ritual for Mistress Kibble. A select few upper deck officers are ready to leave their posts to attend this formal gathering and praise your lordship's name. We can begin at your convenience. I doubt that Kibble will enjoy this. No, let's not be mean to him. Splendid, Dunrock. Summon my illustrious officers. It will be done. I shall signal the servants and notify the invited parties immediately. Let us demonstrate to Mistress Kibble just how strong our vessel's spirit of camaraderie truly is. Okay. So there was a location that we did not scan. Somewhere. No anomalous objects left to scan. But it says there is. Am I crazy? Oh yeah, sure enough, you can refund everything if you need to. Okay, so it says that there was something not explored here. Maybe I just can't see it yet? Because it says there's a world here. But, like, I don't see a world. There's something outside of the system? Can you scan the sun? No. Okay. Interesting. I don't know why that planet is being shown then. But whatever. Lord Captain, I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you'll allow, I have prepared a detailed report. Okay, well, deliver your report. The first incident occurred immediately after our departure from Urek 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions, and the void ship was thrown off course for a matter of minutes, but this was enough for the forces of the Immaterium to anger the machine spirits and enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions: hysteria, apathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay on Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was also told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. Alas, with no details. If you'd like, you can ask Master Wasserian directly. Things are even worse with Jai Hadari. I intercepted a voxcast in which she promised she would, and I quote, end that Kashka if she ever saw her again. If I may, Lord Captain, the Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on an equal footing and improve the situation, for the sake of the crew's safety and that of Lady Cassia herself. Okay. I guess back to the bridge. Go talk to Cassia and see what's up. Okay. We finished all of Chapter 1 and the prologue. We can talk to Argenta on the ship. We can talk to Heinrichs about the cult. Attend the gathering in the officer's deck. Okay, so let's do Cassia first.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
I have heard rumors that you're not getting along well with the rest of the crew. Panic flashes in her ruby red eyes and your heart starts beating a little faster while your hands go cold. Okay, so she is, anxious.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
Ooh, fair enough. Let us go to my study. No one will disturb us there.
Then lead the way, and I will answer all of your questions.
What is it you wanted to talk about, Lord Captain? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflicts with the crew. I cannot recall my having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard. The messenger you rebuked butchered his own family and then killed himself. I haven't rebuked a single errand boy on this ship. Cassia ponders this for a moment. I think I remember. A kind young man with a shy smile and skillful fingers with too much rotten ochre on his shoulders. I grew tired of the disgusting color and advised him to lighten his burden by casting the weight off his shoulders. He did not come the next day, or ever again. During the warp voyage, you gave the wrong orders, which led to the vessel shifting off course and the service bay being destroyed. I saw something in the warp, something vast, predatory, shimmering with indescribable colors. It came from nowhere and stared at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes, right there in our path. I decided to change the course while it was still possible, but did not want to sow panic. Would it have been better to tell the crew we were heading straight into a monster's gaping maw? Would you mind telling me why you needed 100 species of bird and what you used them for? Admittedly, I am at a loss myself. The day we arrived at Footfall, I sent a request to the ship's quartermaster and asked him to get me a songbird. But he never asked for clarification, and slightly before we left, I had a countless number of cages delivered to me, all wrapped in bright red panic with flickering tints of fear. There was a bird in every one. I was so excited. I thought I would have 100 friends instead of just one. They were squeaking so piteously, I let the poor things out. I even fed them my breakfast and dinner. But the stupid birds would not stop chittering even after bedtime. They were dashing about the room, smacking me in the face with their wings and defecating. I became angry, and suddenly they started pecking at each other's eyes and attacking me. Then I became afraid, and they all fell over dead. I do not think I want to keep pets anymore. Well, the officers are reluctant to be quartered next to your chambers because of the constant emotional outbursts it causes them. Some even maim themselves and others. I already told you I cannot control my abilities. What else do you want from me? Will I be assigned a pariah chaperone, or will you put me in suppressing shackles? I think I've heard enough. You share your thoughts with me. Woes dog your steps, we will find a way to defeat them, I promise. My crew has good reason to fear you. You are truly a monster. Absolutely not. We're not going to say that. You have a kind soul, but difficulty reaching people. I can teach you the art of communication. I mean, I think that she communicates pretty well, though. She's just not used to dealing with people that are below her station. You have a kind soul, but have difficulty reaching out to people. I could teach you the art of communication if you like. That would be wonderful. My education on York 5 was cut short, but I had realized by then that the wisdom of books is a poor substitute for the wisdom of experience. Very well. Since we are done with this misunderstanding, I would like to change the subject. It would only be fair for me to ask a few questions now, wouldn't it? Cassie hesitates and continues in a less confident tone. Do not mistake me. I am not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that you're the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship. You're always so busy. What would you like to ask? I read a treatise by Pysius de Mobius very recently, who claimed that subjects would never believe their new ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the low-born rabble become deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What do you make of that? We can use commerce to beat that. Oh, my persuasion's very bad. Yeah, let's use commerce. Let's see. Oh, I do like... Forget my temerity, Lady Cassie. I was looking in your eyes and completely forgot your question. No, but she already seems very, wary about that right now. On the contrary, the loyalty of subjects can be bought at a pittance. Lower a tax, throw them a festival, or feed the needy. A gracious gesture once every cycle will exalt you in the eyes of the rabble as if it were his own blessing. I'm afraid I don't have an answer. I'm not familiar with the works of this scholar. Or... It's always been my opinion that subjects expect two things from their sovereign: to abuse power and to bless their babies. Succeed at both, and boring essays become unnecessary. No, our persuasion's so bad that we could not possibly do that one. So, let's use the commerce option. Cassia thinks for a moment, then smiles. Indeed, I was not wrong about your merits or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you either. According to the 20 tomes penned by the preacher Eustache Istvan the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand, but people flock only to one pan of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers or be magnanimous and choose all? Okay, so we can't pass coercion at all. There's no way. I'm not afraid of acquiring a reputation for ruthlessness. I'd rather crush a rebellion than condone one. Persuasion, exercise restraint and lenience in my actions. Excessive suspicion and mistrust harden the hearts of my people. One must be a tyrant, a friend, and a jester to one's subjects. What matters is that to clearly discern which role is required at a given moment. Oistaku is reading really fast. No, let's go with the fellowship option. We might fail this, but, you know, we have a decent chance. There's so much power in your words. Power that makes me want to join you. I understand now why your subjects are eager to follow you. I admit I was afraid we were too different, and yet you helped me realize that I can be candid with you. Please do continue. I must confess that sometimes I can hardly bear the burden the house has placed upon me. I feel I'm not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to a protectorate, can bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under all their weight. It's not always easy, but I try to lead the dynasty towards prosperity by worthy means. Thank you for your patience. You're helping me to see the world in different colors. A novel experience for me. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell for now. I'm heading back to my chambers to consider today's conversation. Okay. Oh wait, no, we have to go this way to leave. Go to the bridge. Okay, so now we can do... Let's do... Okay, so how do we get to the officer's deck? Because this is the bridge. Is this the officer's deck? Okay, the officer's deck is separate. Alright, let's see how this goes. Kibla stands out, clearly from the officers in attendance, both for her favoring the full regalia of a member of the Bloodstone Web over formal attire, and for the empty space around her. The other attendees are keeping their distance, as if an air of mortal danger repels them from your companion. Denrock, whose keen, worried gaze is locked on Kibla and whose mouth is stretched into the most courteous of smiles, gives you a hurried bow. Your lordship. Domin Deckard, you're here. Kibla sounds neither excited nor solemn. Her tone is indifferent as her fearsome metal claws clutch a slice of fruit from one of the plates. How are you? I feel wrong. Strange people, strange sounds, gestures. Kibla lets out a sharp breath. Her gaze becomes vacant, and her hand reaches for the table knife. I am losing myself in this whirlpool. Grasping the knife, she begins to carve lines right into the expensive wooden tabletop. A nervous murmur runs through the crowd. Their tense gazes are locked on the harmless-looking, barely sharpened metal utensil in the hand of the cultist of the Bloodstone Web. So we can coerce the group and say, are you truly unsettled by her? Why not just, conduct yourself with her? Or we could try and smile at her. I think I'm going to go for this one. So we smile at her and say, I see you've already mastered the art of commanding attention. You seem to be quite in your element. She blinks in surprise and looks up at you. She glances back and forth, seemingly privy to the meaning of her words, and then her clear, genuine laughter fills the room, startling everyone around her. I suppose that's true, Domin Deckard. I will not fluster your subjects further. Kibla glances at the maze she has inscribed in size. Whenever I lose my thread, whenever I am forced astray by the outside world, I return to the labyrinth. It has all the answers. My meditation helps. In finding my way out, I have regained myself and praised the righteousness of serving the Undying One. I see you have found a delicacy that is to your liking. She smiles. Food like this is impossible to come by in the lower bays. I do not know what this is, but it tastes incredible. Juice is dripping down her fingers and hand. It seems she is the only one here who has not lost her appetite. The officers' faces have turned into pale, alarmed masks, and none of them is in a hurry to enjoy the feast. How do you like the ceremonies on the upper decks? I am attempting to peer through the floored shell to the core, yet it continues to elude me. Kibla looks you in the eye. What is the purpose of this ritual, Domin Deckard? Explain it to me. So camaraderie, gratitude, or power. I'm gonna say it's about gratitude. My crew is willing to give their lives to the dynasty. This is my way of praising their service. Does one merit gratitude for doing what their duty demands? Would these people act differently without your show of appreciation? I hope that is not the case. I am too conspicuous besides the rest of your servants. Kibula looks at the other guests, and they quickly avert their eyes. A fitting mask, that is what is required for a ritual like this. I came unprepared. It will not happen again. Well, gestured at her mask and regalia. The choice of attire is not customary for such gatherings. Kibula looks at you with mild confusion. My appearance tells those around me who I am. Everyone here is wearing a mask for their respective thread. Is this not a requirement for your rituals? He glances at the opulent room, the dazzling decor, and the handsomely dressed officers. I sense it may have been a terrible mistake. Denrock sighs heavily and looks down. Why? You've looked behind the curtain at my existence, and now I have looked at yours. Kibula stares at you intently. I do not think that we have heard all the words that should have been spoken here today. Is it because you do not wish to say them in front of witnesses? I grow weary of the crowd. Take a walk with me. Oh hey, the bot actually did manage to work. Good job, bot. You did manage to post the Discord. I just noticed. Kibula avoids your gaze as the two of you walk away from the other guests. She seems calm, but the slight tremble running down her right hand betrays her agitation. Once you're alone, she looks straight at you. I have discerned what you are doing here, and I know that you are calling it a ritual was a ruse. True rituals are constant, immutable, like the cycles of the cooling machines in the ship's bowels, the shift bay servants. This was spontaneous, something you prepared just for me, and then you stayed at my side the entire time. Now here you are, granting me yet another request. Why is that? I have come to value your company. Eyes widened suddenly, so that's how it is, Doman Deckard. She suddenly looks away, a smile touching her lips. When you asked me if I wanted to look at the rituals of your world, I was not entirely candid with my answer. Yes, to see the Doman's world is a priceless gift, but what I truly wished for was to see it with you. She gives you a searching look, narrowing her eyes. What do you think, Doman Deckard? Has your blade failed you? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so that sounds promising. This is the first time you've been honest with me about your desires. To see your sincerity, that is truly a priceless gift. Never regret an action that has given you what you want. You and I are here alone. What does one little lie matter? Ooh, I do like her. Okay, I'm gonna go with option 2, though. That is the first time you've been honest with me about your desires. To see your sincerity, that is the truly priceless gift here. Kibula's face darkens for a moment, but then almost immediately her faint smile grows wider. Hang on. Get out of here, you. That is a luxury that no spinner can afford. Her voice drops to a soft whisper. Ooh, can we try and kiss her? I feel like that might not go well. Ooh. Okay. I think she would not want to just be kissed here. I think... So, thank you for this evening. I hope it will not be the last. I think that I want to stay with you somewhere private sounds better. So, I want to stay with you somewhere private. Then take me there, Deckard. You can barely hear Kibula's voice. She speaks her name plainly for the first time. Ooh, she didn't use the title. That's promising. Can we date the assassin? I think we can. Oh!
You are different in intimacy from what I expected. I'm discovering new sides to you.
Ooh, okay. Hibla draws a finger across her pale skin, tracing a long fluid line from the curve of her hip to the sharp ridge of her clavicle through the pattern of ritual wounds and battle scars. We've gained knowledge of one another, Deckard. Through the revelation of the flesh, we have spun a stronger spiritual bond between us. Do you feel it? Ooh, okay. I see. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that they would value this from a spiritual perspective. Okay, so we have certainly become closer. This pleases me. I believe this is but the first of many revelations we will receive. She stretches languidly on the bed. Each new encounter promises the opportunity to know you better and to reveal myself to you. We will explore our bodies and souls to attain total unity. Oh, okay, so we can actually ask this and it doesn't overwrite the other answers. I did not know that physical intimacy held any interest for spinners. Bloodspun web does not encourage the pleasures of the flesh, but nor does it forbid them. A spinner is free to enjoy carnal love, but what draws them to it is usually curiosity rather than passion, or a special feeling, a sacred feeling that must not be sacrificed to ascesis. Ascesis? Oh, I guess that would be like ascetic. Just never seen it written that way. Did you enjoy this evening? Kiblet's eyes drift closed. Yes, it was a new sensation. Every moment with you was replete with meaning. Empty lust would not grant such depth of feeling. I did not expect to immediately bed her, but I am not displeased with the outcome. I don't know if this locks us out of any romances with anyone else, but it didn't seem to. I must attend to other matters. And I must spend some time alone. I must traverse the labyrinth with new knowledge of us. Okay. So, did that lock us out of any other romances? Because we were kind of looking at Cassia a little bit. Although I guess maybe not. Okay, well. Either way, it's fine. We bedded the hot goth girlfriend assassin. Well, I cannot speak tonight. Okay. Let's see. To the Imperium. Okay, so we can make it safe or unsafe. The Navica. Okay, so let's go here. Lord Captain, permission to address you with a request. Our helm chirurgeon is sabotaging the ship's operations. He has quarantined several Voidsman crews on account of a piddling sickness. People don't even go to the medbay when they come down with it. They just wipe their noses and keep working. Only a dozen or so die of it in a whole year. We're sitting on our hands here, so I ask you to talk some sense to him. Your vox clicks and you hear a dry, nonchalant response. Greetings, your lordship. My name is Leonard Forius, and I am the chirurgeon majoris of this vessel. As your chief medicae specialist, I assure you that the quarantine is well warranted. This piddling sickness has claimed the lives of a number of meritorious officers in the past. This time, I intend to get the epidemic under control, study the disease thoroughly, and develop a proper cure. I hope you will agree that a simple period of downtime is a small price to pay for the number of lives that will be saved and the increase in the crew's performance during other such outbreaks in the future. Not to mention the fact that we won't have to waste stimulants due to the afflicted using them as a crutch to offset their limited work capacity. How do you intend to study the disease? By gathering enough infected individuals together, letting the illness progress, comprehending its properties, and finally killing it. The disease goes through several stages, with each containing clues to its nature and vulnerabilities. The Voidsman will have to stay sick for some time until I discover the cure, assuming, of course, that the disease is reversible in its final stages. Ooh. Okay. So we have the option to do Iconoclast, Dogmatic, or Heretical, or we can just defer to one of them and choose none of these to go up. Or we can just say, don't do any of the experiments. Well, I do think it's important. But I also think that just prolonging the sickness just to get data is not ideal. Okay, so Dogmatic is... Voidsmen are treated and put back to work. If you want test subjects, tell the Master of Arms to provide you with the required number of convicts and other riffraff. Okay, this is not an awful idea, because if... Well, okay, it is awful, but it's a very pragmatic answer, because we can't afford to have crew members who are sick, but if it's prisoners who would otherwise die anyway, then maybe we could cure the sickness, which could save other people. Iconoclast is finding volunteers in exchange for compensation. Heretical, if understanding this disease will indeed let you delve deeper into the nature of wicked afflictions, then you may have as many test subjects as you need. You may expend them all if that is what it takes. No, let's do the Iconoclast option. I'm okay with members of the crew helping you, as long as we're compensating them and you have to cure them. This may limit the potential of the study, but this approach is also acceptable. I'll make up for the lack of material with my expertise. Thank you for taking your crew's health into consideration. Should you require my services, you may find me on the bridge, your lordship. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void Shield arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for a rebellion against the usurper of the Void Ship, that is you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan, or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. The decision is yours. What is this story? Rumors of Lady Theodora's presence on the Void Ship have been circulating for a long time, and appear to be a deliberate provocation rather than ordinary drunken ramblings. Perhaps someone is intentionally stirring up the masses to rebel against you, or perhaps it is the influence of the warp. Enforcers are already investigating, but right now we need to stop the conflict from escalating any further. As long as the unrest continues, the Void Ship's shields will not be operating at full capacity. Destroy the rebellious clan, find a replacement, pacify the entire crew, those who succumb to the provocations are no less guilty. No, find the source of the rumors and punish those responsible. I don't want any unnecessary deaths. Lord Captain, as Seneschal Warsurian would say, there are no innocents in such cases. The clans are endangering the entire Void Ship, tussling over a strange and obvious false rumor. If you so desire, I will convey your wishes to the enforcers later, but right now the unrest must be stopped. Return to their direct duties are replaced. Okay. That's a fair point. We do need the ship's shields to be working immediately, so if the clan is rebelling because they're seeing these alleged rumored sightings, then destroy the rebellious clan and find a replacement among the neighboring crews. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. Alright, we have an uncharted system. Start up here. Quick scan. Some plasteel. Okay. Got some more plasteel. Do another scan. So right now we're generating 12 plasteel. Feral World just gives us XP. This is like a tomb world. Burning world. Okay, well, nothing of value there. Let's fight some ships, shall we? And we'll see if we can actually use these torpedoes now. Ooh. Okay, what does that do? Okay, so the dust cloud makes it harder for them to maneuver, but makes them harder to hit, too. Oh, hello there. So let's do our macro cannons.
Strewn across the stars.
And then...
Annihilate them.
Okay. So let's do this. See how much damage we can do to you. Have anything else we can do? Ooh, we could ram. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll lance you and then ram you. Oh, we can't ram because now we're not fast enough. Oh, good to know. Nice try. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so what can we do with these torpedoes? So let's have the torpedoes move to here. And then... Okay, so what we do here is... Let's do this. Which is going to damage us. But then we can rotate to here. And we can do the dorsal attack. And I think we just ram you.
We need to restart the void shields.
That's fine. Restart the shields. So shields are active again. And then the torpedo is just going to turn around. Can we reach you with it? We might be able to reach you with the torpedoes. Okay, let's go to here. Restarted the ship's shields. What did that say? Hang on. Restart the ship's shields on your flagship and receive no damage to the hull while doing so. Hell yes. Okay, so... we are going to be slower this time. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything that we can do. I guess we could do this to turn around. Oh, that'll work, actually. Can I just detonate them here? There we go. Alright, and then we'll send out another set of torpedoes this way.
Vengeful salvo!
And this. And do this. Excellent. Got some amulets. We got another one of these things. Stitchiest pattern. Oh, this fires 4 shots, but is short range. Interesting. To upgrade our ship. Oh, we actually leveled up the ship. Okay. Okay, so warp wave. Flows of the materium cause an enemy ship to immediately turn 45 or 90 degrees depending on the ship's maneuverability. If they've suffered hull damage, the abrupt turn deals damage equal to the ship's missing hull. Does not affect ships larger than cruisers. Chosen sector of the flagship's void shields is reinforced until it suffers damage. The reinforced sector has an increased chance of absorbing enemy attacks and only loses half of its strength. Okay. While moving, the flagship may make its next turn at 90 degrees instead of the usual 45. Okay. Flagship's next shot gains +2 extra range. I kinda like new heading. I think new heading is the way to go. Oh, we get 2 of them. Okay. In which case, I guess we'll take Warp Wave. Do we take Warp Wave or do we take Reinforced Shields? Or Range? I guess Range might actually be useful too. No, let's take Shields. Do Shields. Okay. Let's do some repairs. What do we repair again? Oh, there we go. Actually, I don't think we need to repair just yet. So I am kind of tempted to take the shorter ranged but more powerful broadside. So let's do the port side cannons. Oh. Congrats on the 10 stream streak, Sass. Wow. 10 stream streak, Sass. Wow, that is very hard to say. Ten streams, wow. I appreciate that people tune in. I am surprised that anyone has a long streak. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Hey, Rix. I hope you're doing well, too. Lizard. We're just playing a little bit of Rogue Trader right now, and so far, I really like the way the ship combat feels. I think, is it Battlefleet Gothic that plays like this all the time? I don't remember, but I would like to play a game that is this all the time. Ooh, Eldari. Some Eldari torpedoes. So, I think we can just blow those up with our short-range volley. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can get in a position to do much more about it. Could go here. Tell you what, let's go here, and we'll fire at you.
Onward.
And we'll see if we can use our torpedoes to blow up theirs. Let's just do... I guess we'll shoot these. We didn't blow up any of those. Cool. Which direction? I think we want to do reinforced shields on the starboard side. We can't do anything with our lance. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that one. Okay, so move to here and just try and shoot you as best we can. Okay, so you have a hollow field which prevents projectiles from hitting you.
Another salvo.
Okay, fire another salvo and then I don't suppose I can turn around enough to do anything else. Let's do a swing run.
Onward.
Which is not enough for me to be able to hit you with it. Oh wait, yeah it is. There we go. Can I... No. Okay, so if we go here, we can lance
This
you.
one's going down.
Alright, got you with the lance, and that blew up the torpedoes. Hell yes. Alright. Plasma torpedoes. I need you to turn this way. And then we will do forward shields. Okay, those torpedoes are gonna take a while to get to me. Alright, and then have the torpedoes land all the way over here. And detonate on you. There we go. Wraithbone fragments. Interesting. Okay. Oop. Just in time. I have an ad break coming up shortly here. So I'm going to take this opportunity to stand up for a bit and stretch my legs. Make sure that you take care of yourselves as well. Get up, get yourself something to drink, maybe a snack. And I will be back shortly. And I'm back. I think we should be back from the ads, right? The ad's still running. Okay, yeah, we're back from the ads. Cool. Also, yeah, thanks, Sass, for shouting out Rix. The Isle. I have no idea what that is. What is that? Is there anything of value here at all? Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. I see. Lord Captain, we have received a transmission from Foulstone. It was sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of St. Cognatius, whose monastery is the only settlement on the planet. Or rather, it used to be. Some time ago, a transport vessel, the Navica, unloaded several thousand refugees from a planet belonging to rogue trader Winterscale. The Order of the Hammer has judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking for your lordship's protection. Okay, so refugees. Well, that's the thing. I think that we should take the monastery under our protection, because this is kind of like violating the sanctity of the Mechanicus, if this is part of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So, we will not abandon people of faith in distress. Prepare a landing party in my shuttle. I'm taking the monastery under my protection. As it pleases your lordship. 611 days after the feast of the passing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith, disquiet marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls, steeped in fear, arrived on Foulstone in a starbark. A great apostasy had befallen their home and turned them into abject wanderers seeking hope and refuge. Their wicked and cruel captain, the owner of the Navica, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the world's surface, he most deviously recalled his shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty to care for the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's grim wastelands, the Forsaken people came to the monastery of St. Cognatius, and there they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fists on its gates and implored and wailed, "Take us in, protect us." And what was once a place of serenity and grace was now full of din, disorder, and all manner of things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife, and mayhap also the seeds of alluring blasphemies if fiendly heathens lurked in their midst. After a prayer, the prelate Hectarchius turned his eye to the past in search of instruction. Prelate Hectarchius recalled the first missionaries to set foot on Foulstone's vast wasteland, led by their zeal for serving St. Cognatius. And those missionaries had received the blessing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith who had traveled with them in their starbark, to found in this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. And St. Cognatius, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and a wise artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarium, but stepped bravely into the darkness, carrying light in the palm of his hand, and he commanded others to do the same. And not only Foulstone, but many other worlds of the Coroner's Expanse bear its imprint. And Prelate Hectarchius did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein victuals and medicinal herbs and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spilt, and many were trampled or mauled in the stampede, some of them dwellers of the monastery. Then the warriors of the Order of the Hammer donned their flak cowls, inscribed words of praise to the God Emperor on their tactical visors, and went forth, ready to render service in battle. With lasguns and bolters, they pierced the interlopers. With their chainswords and power flails, they struck them, and a great and bloody harvest was reaped that day. But the interlopers, too, scant though their armament was, and scanter their skill in battle, slew many among the monastery's dwellers, for great were their numbers, and greater their desperation. The monks fled beyond their walls and rang the vox alarum, and shut the gate, and commanded the armed guards to keep watch over that gate, slaying any who approached. A quarrel broke out. The hungry and the sick lay siege to the monastery, begging for help. In their spite, they blocked the water collector and unpowered the generatorium. The faithful, in the meantime, made ready to resist, and a miracle came to pass. Okay, so we get to pick what we're gonna do. What's this? Can we... Oh, I see. I did not realize this was the scroll bar. Playing as a Dino Croc. I see. Interesting. The God Emperor sent his champion, his confidant, his right hand. The rogue trader of the blessed house Fontalensis, may the light of his grace remain upon it forever. The blessed rogue trader. Okay, so we can summon the prelate and the leaders of the interlopers to hold each to account for their deeds. We can slay the interlopers. We can... we gain... people +1. Foundation of any ruler are workers. As the Imperium, they are merely a resource easily procurable and renewable. Unleashed his armed force upon interlopers amongst the light, wreaking great shedding of blood and pillaging of his delectation. Oh, so we could get a bunch of, like, good profit and stuff. No, we're not going to do that. Cast a contemptuous eye over the aftermath of the bloodshed and departed with words of abuse and reproach. Bade the dwellers of the monastery fight the interlopers for his amusement, like beasts of war, and promised a generous boon to the victor. No, let's say, So, if we protect them... Oh, I can't save here. If we protect them, I wonder if that's saying we're replacing them? The thing is, I'm inclined to side with the monks because, like, while it sucks that the interlopers were dropped here, the monks were trying to help, and the interlopers, like, started a fight while the monks were trying to help. So, like, I feel like that's their fault. I think we take the dogmatic action here, because I think that this is more correct. We commanded his formidable boarding force to fall upon the interlopers and slay as many as could be slain, because they started this. Like, yeah, they were dropped off here, but they could have just calmly received the things that were being given to them, and instead they started fighting both themselves and the monks. But I feel so bad not taking the iconoclast option. No, we have to take the dogmatic option. And there was a great battle, and the accursed miscreants lost their lives in great numbers. The rest fled swiftly to the wastelands, there to hide in fear. And Prelate Hectarchius sent a vox transmission to the rogue trader, beseeching, "Destroy us not, but extend a hand of protection over us, for these wicked people return to exact their vengeance." The most exalted rogue trader... let's see. Gazed over Foulstone's expanses. Now 'tis mine. Both his gaze darkened. This world could be mine, but 'tis not to be. No. Gazed over Foulstone's expanses and quoth, "Now 'tis mine." And the faithful rejoiced, for henceforth they would have an unwavering and mighty guardian, and they proclaimed it for all to hear. Singing hymns of glory, they unsealed the airlocks and opened the abode's gates, for a great endeavor in the glorious name of the rogue trader awaited them. Foulstone was to be led to prosperity and faith, to triumph. After a prayer, the architects set to work, in accordance with the saints' teachings and the parameters set forth in the standard template construct. They erected spacious living quarters and sturdy fort walls for the planetary militia, and a spacious auditorium wherein to trade and store goods, and a proud censorum within whose walls clerks and servo bondsmen would maintain order and keep statistical records. And a new, yet righteous way of life came to Falstone, and the people rejoiced, and all was good. Ooh, we have projects. Dominion of the Hammer. So we get to pick one of these things. Privilege of becoming Falstone's patron is a tempting prospect for many. However, with the Rogue Trader's assistance, the Order of the Hammer will retain ultimate authority over the world. And then we would gain a power hammer that is indeed powerful. Gives us 2,500 reputation with the Drusians and +2 security. The Ecclesiarchy lacks a capital in the Chronos Expanse from which to guide the faithful. If Falstone ascends to the status of Cardinal World, the Adeptus Ministorum will ensure the prosperity of their new planetary stronghold. Heretics will tremble when they hear of the alliance between House von Tolentius and the Ecclesiarchy. So we gain Retribution on the Void Ship. +5% to crit chance against Chaos. We get a bunch of holy gifts, and we get efficiency. Affects the amount of resources produced by the colony, increases it by 10% for each point. So that's a 20% increase in resource gain, which is pretty good. Celestial Protector. No one in the entire Cronus Expanse will make a worthier guardian of a sanctuary of faith than the head of House von Tolentius. A marvelous basilica will be erected in his honor in the world's capital city. It will be decorated with a grand twin statue of the Emperor and the Rogue Trader. Thousands of parishioners and priests will say his name in their daily prayers and bring him reverent gifts. Complacency affects the amount of profit factor produced by the colony and the speed of projects in the colony, increasing and decreasing them by 10% for each point of complacency, respectively. Okay, so profit factor is increased by 10%, but speed of projects is decreased by 10%. And then this just increases our profit factor by +2. Ooh, that is difficult. So I think I'm leaning towards either Celestial Protector or the High Throne, because I don't really need the hammer. I think we do Celestial Protector, because I think Profit Factor is very valuable, and all allies just gaining wounds, like, by default is pretty good. Let me see if I can... Okay, let me check something. So my Imperium lore is 45, so that'd be +3 to wounds. You can manage your colonies remotely using the colony management screen. Okay. So I think we take Celestial Protector. Interesting. Okay, so that just opened up a bunch of other ones. So we have to wait a bit until we can take these. How long does this take? So we have the monastery. We can't take the next rank until this one's done. And we've explored all of the other stuff. So I guess that means we leave? All right. Chart new routes. Okay. Ooh, okay, so this is the one shipments from Janus. So I do think we need to go there in a hurry. Tell you what, let's do this one because this one's kind of close by. Lord Captain, we have an emergency. We received word that there has been a sighting on the lower decks. The Voxmaster's voice breaks. A sighting of Lady Theodora. The messages we have received are incomplete and vague, little more than yelling and hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on for yourself. The situation is delicate, and what's especially disturbing, there are mentions of Idira Tlas being present at the scene. What is Idira doing there? Idira broke her microbead, so I wasn't able to find out anything from her. But Lord Captain, Idira is a psyker, and we are in the warp. You're the only one who would risk setting foot in that compartment. And if you do not, we will never see Idira again. I beg you, do not ignore this matter. I will deal with it personally, and I need the exact location. Okay, so this is Idira's quest. So we're going to take this group. The macro cannon chamber. I see.
Operation.
Instrument terminal.
Rumors about Lord Captain Theodora. Surely you do not believe them?
Of course not. I saw firsthand how... Wait. Who...
Oh, hello. And who now deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their work done for what they've done. Or get their due for what they've done. Or is it the leader himself who's grown tired of hiding behind the others? Theodora von Valencias is before you, and she looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest. Rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen, inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers as though it is dropping in and out of reality. She looks at you, with the whitish eyes of a corpse, and smiles venomously. Rogue trader, we meet at last. I'd grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Theodora's look is appraising, and her mocking tone turns to one of distaste. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I left behind has gone to this non-entity. Warp illusion, be gone! Magenta, my dear, there's no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down for a cup of recaf like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings or help you with your childish treasure hunt. Theodora laughs melodiously, almost without mockery. At the sight of the terrifying Theodora, Abelard's face turns sickly pale. And spare us from the cursed apparitions of the archenemy. Is that what you're truly praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding, Serene. I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. You are not Domin Theodora. His eyes blaze with fury. The Undying One does not relinquish the souls that come to him. Such is the absolute truth. You are a thief of names. Foolish child, your world is limited to the darkness of the lower decks, in the words of your vizier. You know nothing of the truth or death. You do not even know the first thing about yourself. Theodora's voice is dripping with venomous condescension. We've already met. Of course, boy, for it was I who gave the order to bring you here to my ship. Oh, how I rue that decision now, and how I regret heeding the advice of my seneschal. Abelard whispers hurriedly to you. How could this be? It is the same as the visions on the officer's deck, and yet entirely different. Why does it not remember that meeting? Why does it remember what the real Lady Theodora did? Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off for as long as I could, but I do not weep for me, boy. I'm still keeping an eye on my property, and punishing all those who fail me. Theodora bares her rotten teeth in a snarl, her laughter piercing. You're not Theodora. Theodora is dead, and there's no coming back from that. I'm dead. How is that? I'm no different from those who have not yet crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see, I speak, I remember the wrongs you all committed against me, and for all those who failed me, I've already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora. The remnants of herself that she left behind in this world. I am an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I am the taste of tears spilled for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and who refuses to look truth in the face. I am as real as the human passions that bring worlds to ruin. If you are Theodora, then tell me who killed you. Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would bring more which would be more satisfying. To give you an honest answer, or to leave you to languish your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy. Where's Adira? What have you done with her? Me? What have I done with Adira? She laughs mockingly. All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics, I provided her with everything she could ever dream. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Adira. What do you want with me? Why are you waiting for me? Theodora wearily rolls her eyes. Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death's veils to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help, and from my little Adira, no less? And, once I appeared here, of course, I had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs. I'm sorry that we could not help you, but you do not belong here. Theodora tosses her head back and laughs. The scar on her throat opens to the wet sucking noise, curving into a horrible facsimile of a smile. He feels sorry for me. Wretched, spineless creature. No, the only one worthy of pity here is you, boy. But do not expect any. I am not here to console you. Oh, no. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hours. And worst of all, you, my dear heir. You who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I'll drag it all to the warp with me, including you. Okay.
I better myself through my service.
Lines on the screen look fuzzy as though the concentrator's readout system or data storage has been damaged. People's remains have been hissed and mutilated. The flesh seems to have melted at the edges and is thickly coated in stinky mucus. Gross. Take the goods. Wall lining is dented as though someone is trying to break their way out. Labor-starting growls and periodic rattling comes from beneath the casing.
Follow my lead!
Try not to worry about the workers. Hello, Theodora. Where is she? I clearly remember her being around here somewhere. There's Adira. There you are, my little coward. Why won't you look at your captain, Adira? Oh, the walls are bleeding. That's not good. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Look at her, boy. My little Adira is utterly trapped in her visions. No matter. I will allay your doubts. Lord Captain. Adira turns her head to you, but her demented gaze only rests briefly on your face before sliding away. Up close, you can see that the base of one of Adira's temple implants has blackened and melted. No, wait. Lord Captain, Lady von Valencius. Adira raised her eyes to Theodora, who stands before her. Tears stream down Adira's cheeks. You came back. Theodora clucks her tongue in sympathy and reaching out to tenderly stroke Adira's hair. Poor little Adira. There. How could I not come? You're crying for me so desperately, your pleas carried to the very depths of the warp itself. The smile suddenly drops from her mutilated face. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself. Theodora's fingers dig into Adira's scalp, meeting no resistance. Adira lets out a soul-chilling howl and tries to grab the hand tearing into her, but her fingers pass through the monster's flesh. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything that could have had anything to do with you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I failed. Adira breaks into a strangled scream, and you feel the air around you grow colder. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims at Adira, who is struggling in the monster's hold. The sister to battle looks at her without an ounce of doubt or mercy. Ooh, okay. Argenta, stop. Argenta wrinkles her nose at your shout of command and lowers the weapon by a few centimeters, but she does not put it away. Yeah, let's use our persuasion. Adira, I am your captain, not her. Listen to me and snap out of it. Adira shudders and goes limp, then blinks and disoriented and looks at you. Lord Captain. Damn it! Theodora shoves the psyker away with a slow snarl. The rotator's body begins to change, losing its human shape. Chaos will devour you. It will devour everyone responsible for my death. Die. Die for the delectation of my lord. Ah, yes. Everything is warpborn.
See you destroyed.
You asked for it.
Ooh, I like the music already. Alright, let's stand here. Abelard, you're just gonna go over here. It's fine. Kibula, you can deal with these guys. Argenta... I guess there's no reason not to just put you here. And then I will go up here, and Pascal, you can go here. Alright, Cassia. Oh, you have a lot of abilities. Alright, so front line. Let's just go ahead and... Can I rotate this one?
If I may.
Okay, so we'll put this one here. And I guess... Put the back line up here. And then we'll put the melee here.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay, let's do... Killzone Stratagem. No, we can do... Actually, let's buff myself. And then we'll give Pascal a turn. Wait, no. Okay, we'll give Argenta a turn. For every stack of versatility. I do like that we can run and gun to do stuff. Regular shoot you. And then to avoid causing problems. Just do this. Nope, they missed. Okay, that's fine. We'll just reload. End the extra turn, end that turn. Oh, rude. Adira, please stop.
I'll do what it takes.
Alright. Argenta. Just do this. All right. Abelard, can you do anything useful here? Let's move up to here. And we'll do this.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Good shotgun. And then I guess we can do endure followed by defensive stance. We'll just end the turn.
This way.
One fewer target.
Okay, so our parries are gonna absolutely wreck everybody. Alright, killed a bunch with you, so let's just do this. I guess we'll just do this, just to guarantee that you die. Oh, you didn't die. Wow. Hell impressed. And then we will, I guess, flip over to kill you. Good enough. Wicked Bond. Neat, I guess.
Protect me.
Die. Alright, me. Buff myself. Okay, so let's do a blade dance.
Oh, too easy.
And then we'll flip over to here. We'll do this and attack you. Do a ton of damage to you. Turn. I could maybe just kill you. Oh, no, I can't. I'll do that much damage. Okay, I do think we need to hunt down the prey. And then let's do this. Do claim the bounty. Did not do very much damage, unfortunately. I guess we'll just analyze. It's fine. Can you lower the warp at all? Okay, let's give myself an extra turn. Let's just kill you. Yeah, it's definitely gonna die. Blue horrors. Okay, so we've killed the primary source of the problem.
Not a problem for me.
And then I don't think we can get anywhere else useful. We'll just end the turn.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Alright. Pascal, you get a buff. I could give somebody an extra turn, but there's not really much reason to. I guess I'll give you an extra turn, why not? Unfortunately, I was hoping I'd get to move a little further. How far does my jump go? Not far enough to be able to use it. Well, unfortunately, my extra turn is literally just movement.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Good job, Adira.
Quick! Reduced to dust.
Wow. Truly, that was a very, very powerful use of that defensive ability. His defensive stance has been absolutely wrecking everyone that tries to fight. Die. I think you're the last one alive, in which case... Is that it? Where's the last living one? Oh, there's still a blue horror alive somehow. Okay, well, now you're definitely dead. Oh, damn it. Headspace. It's fine. Pascal's got you. Or I've got you.
Nothing I can't do.
Die.
There's nowhere you didn't stand a chance.
The deer stares at you with crazed eyes while clutching the wounds on her head. At first, no sounds comes out of her moving lips. Then she coughs weakly and whispers, "Lord Captain, is it really you?" Argenta trains a weapon on Adira and watches you closely. This abomination claims that you called her. Is this true? Me? Did I? Yes, Lord Captain. I think it was me who called her. I can barely remember. The voices, my old good whispers, they suddenly turned red, sharp. They started cutting, tearing, ripping me to pieces. I cried out, called for help, and she came. Adira groans and clutches her head. Damn it, why are the voices making so much noise now? Shut up, shut up! The previous rogue trader has been seen on the ship. Was that you? Yes, I did it a couple of times when I had too much to drink. At the time, I thought I heard her voice among all the whispers in my head. The voices were so sad, so clear I couldn't help myself. I answered. I hoped I could reach her there. Ever since she died, since I first heard her voice in my head, the whispers have gotten louder, clear, hard to resist. You hear the warp whispering in your head and you answered? Are you insane? You don't know what it's like. The most important person in your life who's now gone forever starts talking to you inside your head. How could I not try to reach her? I had to. She falls silent for a moment. When she begins to speak, it is in barely an audible whisper. I know what you're thinking. During the warp jump, when Lady Theodora came out towards us, I keep thinking about that meeting. I keep blaming myself. Why didn't I define it? Why didn't I stop our killer? These thoughts have been playing at the back of my mind, day after day, choking me with guilt. And you know what? The one on the officer's deck. I don't know what that was, but this time here, this was the product of my own guilt. I'd accused her straight out of my own mind. What am I supposed to do with you now? Dear turned sharply to face you. Deckard, I know after everything I've done, you have no faith in my willpower or my strength, but I can fix everything. Just, I'm not at my best, you see, but maybe we can find a way to replace my implants or some other remedy, a better one. Lady von Valencia said that such a thing could be found, if not here, then elsewhere. I just didn't need it before, but we just need to find it. We need to figure out where to look for it, and we'll get it. And until then, I'll keep myself on a tight leash. So we could banish her off the ship. What will happen to my crew while we look for this remedy? She swallows and straightens. I'll pull myself together, Lord Captain. The death of Lady Von Valencius knocked me for 6. I'll get myself under control. No more booze, no more obscura, nothing. Stop walking around the lower decks. I'll be stone cold sober. She determinedly wipes the tears of blood from her face. I do want to help you. I don't, like, I think the correct action might be to kill her, but I do want to help her if it's possible. So I want to help you. We'll think of something. Adira covers her face with her hands and tries to hold back her sobs. Thank you. Thank you. I won't let you down. You're making a mistake, Lord Captain. Perhaps you will find something to slow the decline, but it will not stop it. Only a miracle can save Adira at last now. Adira awkwardly shakes her out of her stained clothing. I think I'd better, with your permission, Lord Captain. She sways, takes a step back, and faints. Lord Captain, the Voxmaster's shaking voice comes over the comm bead. I received a report that the shooting in the lower deck had stopped. I presume you've brought the situation under control, awaiting further instruction. Ooh, okay, so, like, even after all of that, you could send her out the airlock. We're not gonna do that. I got rid of the Warp's illusions. Adira is alive. Bring her to the Trojans and have them see to her. You hear unconcealed relief in the Voxmaster's voice. Of course, Lord Captain, as you command. Okay, let's do some looting. Oh, we have some level ups too. Okay, so I can't wear this because I am a sanctioned psyker. After triggering a psychic phenomenon on Perils of the Warp, psi rating is increased by +1. Wearer gains momentum and temporary wounds equal to their resolve. Okay, so that's specifically good for her. Let's see. Wearer gains +10 toughness once per combat whenever wounds drop below 35%. Gain +15 wounds. Pretty nice. And then Battle Psyker's boots. Gain 3% dodge until the start of their next turn for each enemy affected by psi powers or psyker staff attacks. Stacks. Okay. I think the footwear is better for me than I'm wearing now, but Battle Psyker's boots are pretty good. Oh, I didn't even realize I had the spinner's mask I could put on you. And I forgot... That's a knife. Okay, so this is just a better version of this chainsword, for sure. Maybe another one-handed sword. I think for now we'll just do that. But we will eventually give you this, potentially. That or I'll take it. Okay, so let's do our level up. Executioner. So, what do you recommend? You don't have a recommendation. So we could take Psyker Majoris, which gives us more psi rating. What offensive things can we take? When an enemy suffers damage from a damage over time effect inflicted by Executioner for the first time in combat, the damage is increased. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so if you have bleeding, burning, and toxin from the same person, then it's stronger. Okay, what I would like to know is if I wanted to use that Eldari weapon. Eldari weapon proficiency. I'd have to be level 22. Must not have features. Oh, I don't know if I can use those. Darn. I don't think he can ever learn this because I have Laura Xenos. Interesting. Oh well, okay. In which case, let's see. Usage of a heroic act decreases veil degradation by -3. That's pretty good. Psychic power, range increase. Damaging psychic powers can be used without provoking threats of opportunity, or attacks of opportunity, rather. This section, plus 14 bonus to Lore Xenos. While moving, all bleeding enemies leave a bloody trail on the ground. Remains for 1 round. Bloody trail is pretty good. Interesting. Okay, so I think we definitely want to take some of these if possible. Looking for any damage over time effects, dodges, all damage deal additional 10% damage. So every time they dodge, they take more damage from the dots. Damage dealt by damage over time effects increased by 3% for every -10 penalty to armor suffered by the target from any source. 5% more damage to a target for each type of damage over time effect inflicted. When pushing an enemy, Executioner also inflicts 7 levels of bleeding. Does it hurt? Damage over time effects gain 20% crit chance. Chance increased by all bonuses to critical hit chance. Ooh. That could be good. Scourging strikes gives even more. Must have merciless verdict. Well, we don't have that. Okay. I think, because we don't really have any other good psyker abilities that we can take. Because we don't have any, like, offensive psyker abilities yet. I think I'm just going to take Does It Hurt for the crit chance. Okay, so Abelard. Okay, we do have some recommendations. So as long as you have any temp wounds, you gain plus 11% parry and armor. That's really good. All enemies in a 2-cell radius suffer penalties to dodge. Unyielding Beacon additionally increases armor and parry by 1%. Okay, Resilient Beacon. Critical hits deal less damage. 5% bonus armor to anything that affects allies. Priority targets do bonus parry. I think we take Enduring Shield. Arch Militant begins with 2 stacks of versatility. That could be incredibly useful. When entering combat, the Arch Militant gains 10 weapon skill and 6 ballistic skill until end of combat. Gain a bonus to critical damage based on versatility. So flat, this means we get a plus 5% bonus. Okay. I think we just want to do always be ready, because starting with 2 stacks of versatility is huge. It means if we take 2 actions in the first round of combat to attack, we're able to use our abilities for free. Okay, using a stratagem on the front line grants allies 28% dodge chance. I know it wants us to keep buffing these. I kind of just want to keep taking the warp features. Every time a combat tactics area is affected by a stratagem, all allies in that area gain +1 MP. Bonus to reception and agility if they're in the same zone as me. Using a stratagem gives high deflection. Using a stratagem on the rear makes allies in that area the lowest priority targets. Diversion zone could be good, but I do think we just want to find one of these that we want to take. Starts all turns, including extra turns, with +3 additional movement points. Ability. First ally targeted each gains the same amount of additional movement points. Allies that are targeted by abilities gain a resistance bonus. Leaking stare at the end of combat. Cannot dodge attacks of opportunity. Heals 6 wounds at the beginning of every turn and gains +1 additional wound for every navigator talent. I think we actually take Strange Vitality at this point. Because that means... So currently, we have taken... What's that? 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6... 6 of those.
I am your shadow.
Okay, so every turn, the first use of an assassin ability costs 0. Assassin gains bonus to lethality equal, lethality percent chance to deal 5% of the target's max wounds more damage when hitting an opening. Each use of aim for the opening on the same target reduces target dodge. Okay. If an enemy suffers a crit at the start of the assassin turn, a new opening is created. Eye for the unscathed. No, I think we do perfect opening. And then Pascal for you. Whenever prey is killed, all enemies in 10-cell radius around the prey have their agility reduced by -5 times their difficulty tier, which could be good. Crits give armor pen. Whenever an enemy is killed by a critical hit score by the hunter, they gain 2 times the difficulty tier % damage for 2 rounds. No. Whenever an ally kills a prey, the bounty hunter gains half the bonuses granted by hunt down the prey. The bounty hunter is attacked in the melee range the first time. I think we do share the spoils. And we'll go from there.
Incredible. Your heart, esteemed Magos, shines with a kaleidoscope of colors, albeit one made of metal.
Only laypersons believe feelings to be the preserve of flawed flesh. We know the higher passions granted by the Omnissiah, the aversion to tech corruption, the blessing of compliance with the canon of maintenance, and the satisfaction of effective devotional service.
I see. Alright. Just toss the grenade in there, because we're not going to worry about that. Collect everything. And let's get out of here. All right. Let's see. Oh, ad's about to start soon. Or ad is starting now? Whatever. Okay. Alright, I would like to visit this system, please. Space dust. We found some fuel. Scan. What is this? The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world, completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detect the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome systems failed and left behind in this city. Left behind is this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. We could drain the fuel. Check out the temple district. I think we investigate the temple district. Holy gifts. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor's statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumble upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal, wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. Blessed bolter casing. Single attacks with bolter weapons automatically hit the target. Holy shit, that's really good. So bolters are guaranteed to hit if you fire once. Okay, let's gather as many supplies as we can. Provisions, creations, ranged weapons, and uniform kit. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There were plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. Well, drain the remaining fuel from the generating systems. You don't need it anymore. It took several trips to deliver the massive Promethium storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out the colony was running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals still would have perished due to lack of energy. Let's explore the palace. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the clearly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in the secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. The Ghost Sword. Eldari weapon proficiency. Oh no, I really want to use it. I hope, I genuinely, I do hope that we can actually take, I hope that we can take it. We can't check it till level 22, but I hope that we can. Because I would like to use that sword. Scan. That's not very much plasteel. I don't actually know if I want to use my extractiums on that. Because I have a limited number of those. Scan this planet. Magnetic storm. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of auger arrays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. The rogue traders decided to leave this unwelcoming world. Maybe you'll return here one day. Okay, so I need to check this place out in the future when I have better augury equipment. How's our project going? Not done yet. Alright. Back to here. Let's make this area safer. Alright. Lord Captain, according to the telemetry, the parameters of this system match those of Telecos Epsilon, home to the agri-world Janus that belongs to the von Valencius dynasty. We've received a Vox message from the planet. The agri-world's governor officially welcomes the rogue trader, reports that she has begun preparations for a formal reception to celebrate the arrival of the planet's sovereign. Your subjects are looking forward to your visit. Well... let's scan a few places while we're at it. We discovered plasma batteries. Oh, before I forget, I'm gonna give you that item that we found from the cargo. Is cargo management. Okay. Okay, so I know that it was a holy relic. Can I search? Newest to oldest, so... the Ripper. Not very good. Okay, there we go. That's what I needed. Blessed bolter casing. +5 toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. Well, +5 toughness is cool. However, auto hitting bolter hits is worth way more than that. Shame that we don't have a better bolter we can give you yet. All of our bolters are not as good. But that's okay. Can I give you... no, the Thunderhammer is two-handed. We can't give you that. Alright, let's explore this. We'll go to Janus. So we can get more plasteel. I guess we'll get this one. Because it is If it's 3, I'm willing to put down the extractors, but otherwise, I think that we should not. Governor Viet's estate. Let's go. Okay. Ooh, hello. That was an Eldari sniper. A lavishly dressed noblewoman in an opulent silk gown watches you with an expectant air, but then gracefully bows her head. Gem-encrusted implants protrude from her arm and neck. I welcome you on behalf of the noble house Fiat Am Aram. My name is Vistenza Janus Viat Ab Aram of Coronas. By the grace of the Emperor and the will of the rogue trader Theodora von Valentius, I serve as planetary governor and imperial commander-in-chief of this world. Vistenza Viat raises her head slightly. Vistenza Viat turns to Abelard. And greetings to you, noble Versarian. It has been years since your last visit to Janus. I'm glad to see you again. It is a good sign when a rogue trader seneschal does not visit a subject planet for a long time. Isn't that correct, Lady Viat? It means the governor is taking care of all the matters. Of all matters, and there's no need for the seneschal to interfere. Vicenza lets out a musical laugh. I hear praise in those words, and I thank you for them. She turns once again to you. In truth, your arrival in the place of the esteemed Lady von Valentius is quite unexpected. Theodora von Valentius is dead. I am now the head of the dynasty. Such tragic news. I will see to it that the planet observes a month of mourning.
For Janus!
Ah, I see. Rebels. Ill-advised.
And you'll die quickly.
I will fight if I must.
Alright. Ambushed so we can't move... Oh, wait. Okay, so we can move normally. You roll that. Okay. Well, let's move... Let's buff you and hope you survive.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Can I give you an extra turn? Oh, I totally can. I don't know if it was worth it, but it was good experience to know. Not that it matters too much, but I guess we'll just put the front line right here. Put the front line here, we'll put the rear here. And then... I don't know. Does the back line really matter? Just put it here. Okay. Alright, me.
Forge ahead.
Run over here. Buff
Already
myself.
All
do
too
this.
easy. Ha! Another clean strike. Nothing of value has been lost.
Kill you. Kill you. And kill you. Unfortunately, I cannot get to you, so you survive this time. Oh, good job.
Emperor, protect me.
What have you been shooting at? Alright, Argenta. Do the thing.
I will not. Faith without deeds is worthless.
So we're guaranteed to hit with that. Do this.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Oh, is there more? Yep, there's more. Okay, that's fine. Do I get the rest of my shots? I guess not. Which is unfortunate. Okay, well, in that case, I guess I'll just reload.
Here we go.
Okay, so somebody got stunned. I think it was me.
Pain and duty. Let's get to it.
Actually, I think it was Kibula and me. Oh, I don't know if I do that.
I can handle this.
Can you?
No mercy.
You sure about that? Darn. Kibble was about to have a sick turn, too. Okay, let's do this. And then
We'll rule the stars themselves.
this. Kill you. And then we'll run over to here. And actually, wait. Who are the weakest ones? You guys? Yeah, let's get to you.
Follow my lead.
And then we'll do Reckless Strike. And then we'll Defensive Stance.
Scared yet?
So he has a lot of movement, but he can't really attack very much.
I've suffered worse.
Oh, ill-advised. Alright, Pascal.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
So that. Do this. Mark you as my prey. And then we'll just attack you. I think that's it. Oh, once again, ill-advised. Alright, Cassia.
Be careful not to cross my
me.
gaze.
I guess we can move the front line to here.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
So if I were to stand here, no, I could not get a lot of people with it. So I think what we do is we just give
Isn't this a
Avalor
job for
an
the
extra turn.
serfs?
Just attack you. And then we'll just go back into defensive stance and endure. And then Cassia, I guess you can just shoot. Good enough. Let's buff
I'll pass.
Pascal. And then I'll move here. Except apparently I can't just move in a straight line. Okay. I guess let's do this. And just do a regular attack.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Oh, congrats on the 15 stream streak. Wow. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. How are you doing, Fighting Fish Cat? I hope you're having a wonderful evening.
Nothing I can't do.
Ooh. This guy is fancy.
Moving out.
Yeah, 15 stream streak. Wow. I am honored that you care to pay that much attention to me.
Show me what you've got.
Oh, ill-advised. Nice try. Alright, Argenta. So how far does our 100% chance to hit go? I have to have line of sight of them for sure. Let's
God
do
Emperor,
this.
move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Wow. Rip that guy. I guess, yeah, firearm mastery. Let's move to here and then use our flamer.
I refuse.
Oh, we can only use the bolter?
I'll do it.
No, we're gonna shoot ourselves if we do that.
As the Emperor commanded,
Die.
strike is a prayer. That is not the Emperor's will.
Shoot you too. You're next. It's my birthday today, but we decided to choose a different day. Happy birthday! Oh,
I will not.
decided to celebrate a different day because I was busy today. Well, I hope that you had a good birthday.
Doubt is for the weak.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, let's get all the way over to here. And then we'll just do a blade dance in your direction.
Caught by the web.
And then we'll just do a flip here. And we'll do one more attack on you, which kills you. Do a flip here. We'll just do
The
this.
shadows will see it done.
All right. Let's kill you. And now we can move. I guess we move here.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Okay, let's move here. Let's move to here, and then we'll charge.
Indeed.
Okay, well then we'll do this. Just endure. I told everyone else to get down. Pascal, you can do this. And then we'll mark you with a bounty. And I guess we'll just do it like this. as much damage as we can, which is not that much. All right, Cassia. Let's buff Adelard, why not? And then we'll give myself an extra turn. Just rip this guy.
Not a problem for me.
We flipped
Suits
over
my
here.
purpose. You didn't stand a chance.
Alright. And then I'll pass my extra turn. Move to over here. I guess we'll just move as best we can. What is your favorite birthday cake? What kind of birthday cake do you get? Do you even eat birthday cake? All right. Let's turn. Nice try. Chocolate normally. Okay. Are you more of a, like, just like a regular chocolate, or do you like Dutch chocolate? Do you like red velvet?
Guided by faith.
Let's say, get down. Okay.
Let's get to it.
Oh, that was not a good idea. Alright, now you just get to die. Okay, reinforcements. For a second I thought that was more people attacking. What's going on? Hello? Oh, there we go. Took him a while to get here. Your lordship, Emperor Preserver, so you're alright. I go for more basic cakes. Me too! My favorite is actually, I like a French vanilla cake. That's my favorite. When I was younger, I used to just prefer vanilla cake. I liked the like plain old vanilla cakes that you'd get at like, you know, Walmart or like your local grocery store. But one time, I don't remember when it was, but I think it was like, I must have been like 11 or 12 or something. My mom was so worried because she went and they didn't have vanilla cake. And so she bought a French vanilla cake hoping that it was basically the same. And I preferred it. There was a different like richness to it that a regular vanilla cake didn't have. And so I preferred French vanilla cakes. And I have now, not every year, but almost every year, I'll at least try and eat a little bit of French vanilla cake, because I do like it. I like it a lot. Do not fret, layperson. We have grown used to outrageous slovenliness among the wardens of every world we visit. Pascal's vox, quiet at first, is booming with fury by the end of his remark. Pale grayness is strangling this peasant like a noose. His words are laden with fear for our well-being, yet he fears for his own even more. Okay, so he does seem to care about us, but he cares about himself even more. French vanilla is good. Right? I do like it. I'm fine. I can't say the same for the attackers. Praise the throne. If you'd follow me, please. I'll personally escort you to the governor, where you'll have the protection of the walls and the wardens. Fine. Lead on. Alright. Upon seeing you, the guard at the door lets out a frightened yelp and doubles over into a low bow. Your lordship, the most honorable Deckard von Valencius, the governor is awaiting you in her office where she is protected by walls and guards. Would you prefer to meet with her alone or with your entourage? My entourage will accompany me in my meeting with the governor. Vicenza Janus Viet Aran of Coronis is furiously swiping at a data slate, issuing commands into a gilded vox. Upon seeing you, she hurriedly puts away her devices, smooths her skirts, and drops into a deep curtsy. Your lordship, accept my abject apologies for the reprehensible stunt that spoiled the reception. Even in my worst nightmares, I could never have imagined. She flinches when she notices Kibula standing at her side. A death cultist? My, how unexpected. Must someone face severe punishment in the Emperor's name? Someone always does. As for who and when, the Undying One will tell. Kibula responds with dignity, seemingly oblivious to how sinister her words sound. You can stop apologizing, Vicenza. I'm not offended. Thank you, your lordship. Believe me, I am infinitely sorry for the troubles of Janus have reached us even here, the most protected place on Janus. The companion sitting next to Vicenza respectfully bows her head. She is doggedly trying not to turn her head towards you, but it is obvious she is watching you through her lowered lashes. Yeah, let's compliment the warden who survived. One of your wardens helped us in battle. A superb shot. Who was it? Oh no, that was the Eldari. You must be referring to Yulet, our chief ally in the struggle against the rebels. I've turned a blind eye to her horrific mutations, given the undoubted advantages she brings. You know, Yulet comes from the local degenerate stock of this world and knows Janus like the back of her hand. So she has provided several leads as to where we can find bases and secret storehouses, although I admit that at times I am tempted to send her away from the estate. Her unnaturalness means that speaking with her always leaves me feeling uneasy, such a gaunt, unfeminine figure, so tall. If you wish to speak to Yulet, you will find her outside in the orangery, most likely by the gazebo. She prefers to keep her distance from others. What's happening on the planet? Several months ago, uprisings broke out on Janus. I was not even notified at first. Griping worms are for wardens to worry about. Alas, I've only learned of what was happening after the miscreants began targeting noble families. And then it became apparent that what the Administratum's accounts had referred to as unrest were in fact organized attacks on infrastructure and society leaders. They've already brought 13 agri-complexes to a halt and have now moved on to assassination attempts. My wardens are doggedly tracking down the rebels, but their leaders are slipping from our grasp yet again. Can Janus fulfill its foodstuff supplies under current conditions? I risk angering you, your lordship, but this is nothing compared to shamelessly deceiving you. Let us consider the situation dispassionately. Even the most talented logistics experts of the Administratum are unable to guarantee stable tides when shuttles are wary of landing at spaceports. And the terrified peasants are indulging a dangerous minority within their ranks. Until the usual order of things is restored on Janus, any trade is nigh impossible. Considering what has occurred, your visit is a true blessing. You see, Janus does not have its own fleet. You can organize a planet-wide search if we had ships at our disposal, ships like yours, your lordship. Perhaps you'll find a way to support your subjects in their hour of need. I'm sure even approximate coordinates would be sufficient to have the ground forces and ship's crew work together to hunt down the enemy. Let's see. I'll track these elusive features of myself. As for you, you will not be permitted to fail again. Ooh. No, I will get to the bottom of this. I'm sure the rebels will have something to say to the master of their world. Vicenza inclines her head. I am immeasurably grateful for your assistance, your lordship. If any of those who attacked the estate have survived, then perhaps they could have been a valuable source of information, but you made an example of them for the rest of the foolish rabble. Glances to Vox. Incidentally, I did overhear the wardens talking about some kind of stranger in the area. Besides that, we still do not know who let those reprobates into the estate. The person who did might also know something. I, as well as my retinue, are at your service. My secretary is checking the staff as we speak and removing all traces of the attack from the estate. An esteemed Magos, who is responsible for agronomic efforts on the planet, is also here. He happened to be visiting this week to deliver his personal report. And of course, there's my aid in the war against the rebels, Yulet. I have no doubt she would be delighted to share her knowledge of Yanos with your lordship. Footfall Station is on the verge of starvation. Can Yanos supply the people there with provisions? Yes and no, your lordship. If the question is, can such an expensive and fertile world as this one feed a few thousand void rats? Of course it can. We lose more provisions to gnawing pests every cycle than those on Footfall could eat in their entire lives. But can we ship said provisions to Footfall? Not a chance. Any cargo shuttle that leaves the surface will be targeted for attack. The rebels will not hesitate to bring it down, sending flaming debris over the capital. Our silos could become targets for sabotage. Food could be poisoned or mined. The logistics of transporting supplies to Footfall will only be possible once the uprising has been completely crushed. Nod towards her companion. Who is this person standing next to you? One of my ladies-in-waiting, Amelia. Amelia performs secretarial duties and helps me to remain in constant contact with those families who are responsible for the productivity and prosperity of Janus. I trust my advisors implicitly, and over time Amelia has become not merely a faithful companion, but almost my shadow. Losing her would be like losing my right hand. She laughs, gives Amelia an encouraging nod. I fear you might be in with the rebels. Amelia drops into a low curtsy. To bathe in the light of your greatness is a true honor, rogue trader. I must take my leave. Okay.
You have encased yourself in metal, priest. You may trick age this way, but you cannot trick death.
This unit's service life is not determined by entropic degradation. The Omnissiah determines all. He is greater than entropy.
Ooh. That's a good line. Alright. Go back to the estate.
I can see the agitation and fear of the servants beside me. But you, how do you manage to drown out their colors with mere words? Their dark hues dissolve immediately, and humility sets in.
I have always desired only respect, not fear. It is good to know that my efforts have not been in vain. Thank you for telling me.
The Governor's Palace is opulent. The gilt finishes, the plaster are updated regularly and frequently. It seems too frequently even for a building situated on the coast. Okay, so... see if we can find this... Derlet. Get it, Pascal.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Oh, there you are.
Iliad Lenevus greets you, Elantark.
Yearliet. Okay. The bizarre creature before you only vaguely resembles a typical human. An elongated body, slender limbs, pointed features. Every aspect of his appearance is unnatural and alien. The creature turns its head to you. You're not a mutant.
I have met souls like you before. You travel a path that offers you enlightenment. A rare gift among your limited kind.
Yearliet stares at you with her strange eyes, wearing an expression that is remarkably difficult to interpret. At last she arches one brow, so subtly you almost miss it.
My soul is nothing kin to yours. Your kind call us Xenos, as if we are all as one. I came here to protect the Lilithon by assisting the Governor against her enemies. Will you hear me, or be blinded to sense by your precepts?
I will speak with you, Yearliet Lanevis, but keep your hands where I can see them.
I have banished the shadow of doubt from your thoughts regarding my nature. Now you will answer my question. Why have you sought me out?
I want to know, do you know who is behind the uprisings?
There is a malevolence here that drives your kin down the path of violence.
Okay. Why are you helping the governor?
This world is in distress. I wish to protect it from unnecessary suffering.
Okay. So you're the governor's mysterious helper.
I am Elantark. My hand parried the death promised to the ruler of these people, and I aided you in battle against the Lost Ones.
You know about the rank-and-file rebels.
Only that they threaten the established order. There is much risk to this world should the ruler die. Do I need any other reason to come to the aid of those in need?
It is strange for you to come to the aid of humans, though. How did you come to be here?
The world you call Janus was once created by the will of my kin. I have far more right to be on the Lilithon than any of you.
Why do you keep calling me Elantark?
Because that is what you are. Elantark means stranger from the darkness amidst the stars. You descended on flame-winged machines in a dark time when the air of the planet is soaked in blood and pain. Will you be the one to bring peace to the Lilithon?
Your answers are not particularly helpful.
But you are not asking for help, Elantark. You are merely asking questions, the answers to which are either unimportant or wreathed in shadow. Explore this place. Speak to those who know. A simple task for you, and an insurmountable challenge for me, since my very appearance provokes fear and suspicion. When you learn anything, tell me. Perhaps then my answers will be helpful to your search.
If you want, you can join me. None of the locals will dare look askance at you in the rogue trader's presence.
So be it. I will go with you.
She's silent for several seconds, her gaze fixed on something beyond you.
But Domin, this is a Xenos. The tenets of the blood-spun web warn us about their deceitful and vicious nature. They compel us to destroy them on sight. She is an enemy of the Undying Emperor, and she is driven by dark designs.
That's fair.
My judgments and choices are for me alone, Monkey. If uniting with your master will bring peace to the Lilithon, then it is the true path. Do not get in my way if you value your next breath.
Your attempts to intimidate me are as hollow as the lies seeping from your lips. Only the Domin's grace stands between my blade and your throat, Xenos.
I am ready, Elantark. Let us go forth.
You're the Xenos. One of the Osyani? Osyani. She's a ranger who follows the path of the outcast, and her skills in range combat are without equal. Yurliet does not use human weapons and can wear either Eldari armor or, if she learns the required feature, Drukhari armor. Yurliet's unique ability instantly ends her turn. However, at the start of her next turn, she'll make an attack that always hits its target. Okay. So I don't know what your abilities are yet, so we'll take you instead of Pascal for now. So you're an operative. So you do kind of replace Pascal. Grand Strategist. Nope, we already have one of those. I guess we could do an assassin. Let's do Bounty Hunter for now, so that we keep up with you being Pascal's replacement, potentially. Next attack has 100% over penetration, 12% armor pen. The next attack that hits a target marked as a prey is always a crit. That's pretty good. Target of the attack is marked as prey. Its armor and dodge are also reduced against the attacks. There's allies. Prayer seed, you get +2. Okay, so let's take piercing shot because auto crit is really good. Auto critting with pierce the armor seems pretty good. Although this also just gives us even more power. And it affects us even if an ally crits, which is also nice. Ooh, heightened concentration though. That might actually be better. Because this reduces the target's armor. This scores a crit and gives me armor pen. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so let me see what I have for you. So I have the ghost sword, which you can wield. But you can't use anything else besides that. Let's see. Close allow the wearer to parry melee attacks with their ranged weapon using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. So let's put those on for sure. Start of the wearer's turn, they gain 20% dodge until the end of the round. So I think we want to take... So we take this for the bonus to awareness, which just cuts us really high. And then... I guess we'll give ourselves the crit. And sure, why not? We'll make ourselves immune to burning. That on. And I think that's it, because I don't really have anything else I can consciously like put in there. Alright, let's put some of these in. And then we'll give you, I guess, a monofilament grenade. Sure. All right. A woodly silence reigns under the arches of the gazebo. Perhaps a sound barrier generator is mounted under the dome. Oh wait, hang on. You're named. Who's that?
I won't tolerate weakness.
Okay, it is you. Draped in a red cloak, the Magos' body barely looks human. Wires, tubes, and metal manipulators turn him into a whimsical machine, while implants hide his face behind a sinister mask. The tech priest intermittently dictates something in Technolingua to the servoscope floating next to him, but at your approach, he falls silent and offers a reserved bow. Greetings, your lordship. Lex Mechanic Vinzilex. How may I serve you? What do you do here on Yenos? The tech priest's mechanical voice comes from the speaker on his neck. By the order of the Adeptus Mechanicus, I have been entrusted with the management of the Adeptus Administratum in order to catalog argonomic data and analyze information about the planet during the process of subjugating it to the will of the Imperium. How many Adeptus Mechanicus are on the planet? According to the data stored in my cogitator, all infrastructure nodes for food harvesting and processing have their own contingent of technomats. The total number amounts to 253. Correction. Based on the latest data, the figure is 211. How are things with you and your fellows? The situation on the planet is assessed as stable. The progress of the prospects is assessed as encouraging. Can you tell us anything about Janus? Initializing report. The planet's soil possesses a unique composition suitable for the re-engineering of the planet and the mass production of foodstuffs. Significant cultivation of the Eastern Hemisphere with the aim of improving production processes and logistics operations. Traces of xenoactivity that do not pose an immediate threat to ongoing operations. Undesirable pathologies of flora and fauna have been noted, which may pose a threat in the short term. What pathologies? Genetic and chemical pathologies, your lordship. Harmless species mutate and become aggressive, while planets change their chemical composition and become poisonous. This is happening more and more often, and if no action is taken, the ecosystem of the world will be irreparably disrupted. It is the Lilithan's wrath that is becoming manifest in nature itself, in the workings of this world. May the gods preserve us. How did we not notice this sooner? Juliet glances at you before immediately looking away. How's it going dealing with the undesirable pathologies? I've analyzed the genome of the affected species, and I am currently developing suppressor genes to make the planet's organisms resistant to pathology, but so far I have not been able to solve the problem. Further exploration of the planet would perhaps speed up these processes, but the administrative apparatus has imposed a ban on expeditions that are not directly aimed at production. Traces of xenoactivity. According to data obtained during the initial survey, ruined structures of non-human origin were noted in different sectors of the planet, but I did not have the administrative capacity to study them in detail. For now, I must defer the quest for knowledge. Okay. That's all we get out of you. Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant immediately grabs an injector and stabs it into his arm. The air on the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, Viet's dogs. I'm the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astonishment and seems poised to prostrate himself on the floor. It's you. Your lordship, the God Emperor, must have brought you here. I beg you, help the rebels and save Janus. He doubles up, hugging himself and is racked by coughing that leaves his lips wet with blood. Forgive me, your lordship. If only I'd known it was you. My eyes deceived me. We have little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything. Hebila picks up the drop of poison from the needle with her claw and carefully puts it on her tongue. It makes an improving sound. A strong toxin. We apply something similar to the lips of new initiates of the bloodspun web. It kills minor nerves and purges one's sensitivity to pain. This layman, though, it is a certain and violent death. You helped the rebels gain access to the estate. Your lordship, could I have done otherwise? No, not. Not after everything I've seen in the palace. People being shipped in and tortured, servants being driven mad. For a long time I thought it was only going on inside the estate, but when I was contacted by people on the outside, I learned that all of Janus is under threat. Only your mercy and the light of the God Emperor can save us. The old servant lets out a moan. The dark stain on his arm seems to have creeped through his veins until his arm and neck are a latticework of black. The servant's breath quickens and becomes irregular. Say whatever it is you want to say and be quick with it. In the name of the Golden Throne, your lordship, show mercy on the humble workers, the salt of Janus. Save them. Vistenza Fiat, the untouchable governor and leader of the nobility, is creating something monstrous behind closed doors. She uses the Imperium's interests as a smokescreen and purports to be a scholar, but her actions are poisoning our planet. Did you know that the settlements that fail to pay their due tithes on time have been allowed to pay with people instead? They even deliver them to order, sometimes old folks, sometimes children. He lowers his voice to a whisper and leans towards you. I've seen those people. I've seen them being delivered to the estate, and then they're never seen or heard from again. They go into the secret rooms and they don't come out again, your lordship. Ever. Peasants who were taken to York 5 to serve House Orsilio were never seen or heard from again either. They became loyal servants and toiled for the good of a dynasty. Why would they ever return to their filthy, squalid abodes? The servant shakes and calls finally. I'm not sure I'll last long enough to answer all your questions. What secret rooms? Hidden chambers deep within the palace. I've never been inside them. Thankfully, the servants who are allowed in, the ones the governor trusts, they change. She changes them, reads them up, defiles them. I see no shadows of deceit behind your words, and even so, I would have noticed. I know I would have noticed the sign of which Yulet's face tenses with the taut string and doubt creeps into her expression. Except, whenever Vistenza hosts one of her dances at the palace, she sends me away to search for rebels, into the forest far from human settlements. You accuse the rogue trader's appointed governor of heresy. If your words are false, they themselves are tantamount to heresy. But if what you say is true, if it's true, then your sacrifice will be to your credit, my good man. Argenta utters these last words with impassioned conviction. I swear I'm not lying. Pray for me, holy sister, for me and for Janus. The old man starts to convulse, that he is close, indicating that he is close to death. He raises his already unseeing eyes to you. Your lordship, if you'll permit a dying man to make one last request, don't tell anyone that I was the one who unlocked the doors. If you do, they'll go after my family, my home. Your accomplices will answer for your treachery in your place. Please save us. Save Janus. The servant rasps violently and collapses on his side, racked with convulsions. I see.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
And what have we over here? Does it still have these locations
What
designated?
a splendid estate. I have seen pics of our ancient manors in the House Orsilio archives. This place is very similar.
It's a pity you were denied the chance to grow up in such surroundings. I can just picture a young lady navigator, relaxing with a book in the garden after her lessons.
Okay, so that's all the stuff that's over here. Julius Quint. The stooped man wearing a cloak of the Adeptus Administratum is reviewing information on a data slate, while his quietly whirring mechanical arms fill a long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips into a smile and deferentially bows. The light in the eyes of the servo skill hovering over his right shoulder gently pulsate. Your lordship, what an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself. Attilius Quint, Prefectus of the Officio Agricolte. I will preserve the record of our conversation forever. Uncover the servant who betrayed the governor. Here's the place where you'll find the body. No, we're not gonna rat him out. Let's see. What do you know about the attack? A disgraceful incident. Simply disgraceful. I cannot believe these scoundrels would dare to come so close, and to drag the nobility into this as well. If they penetrated the estate, that means they had help from some worthless servant or another. Security is currently questioning survivors, but the culprit has not been found yet. What do you think of the governor? The governor is a superb leader. She possesses an excellent grasp of all matters and never uses an incorrect form for a given situation. I do not pry into her personal affairs, but if I may speak plainly, a lady who fills out paperwork with such finesse cannot be a bad person in my view. I see. What record of our conversation are you talking about? Your lordship, I painstakingly record every conversation with high-ranking personages. And after I fill out 7 accompanying forms personally. Attilius rolls up his complete scroll in a practiced gesture and stows it away and pulls out a new one. Your words and judgments are in good hands. Attilius's mechanical fingers fly over the scroll as he fills in another line. And of course, what great fortune it is to see for the very first time in all my years of service, an emissary of the Nevis Nobilite here on Yenos. I humbly welcome the esteemed Cassia Tisifia Evriella, Lady Navigator of House Orsilia. Wow, what a name. Everything from her condescending gaze and confident bearing to her calm but commanding voice marks Cassia as the heiress of a great bloodline. Awestruck, the secretary writes down each letter of her name with a particular fastidiousness. A strange hobby, but you may continue. I thank you. Moments such as the appearance of a rogue trader must be preserved for posterity. Let's take my leave. Okay. What else do we have down here? Oh, okay. Oh, there's an ad starting soon. Look, we can get down to the water.
Halt! I noticed something.
Forgive me for so boldly stealing you away from the others. It's just, I simply wish to spend just a brief moment admiring the breathtaking nature of this place. Reflected in Cassie's eyes, the bright blue sky looks as though it is engulfed in a blazing sunset. Within the station's walls, I could never hope to see anything like this. A sky or a sea, green leaves. I only knew them from meager memories of my childhood, or perhaps my mind simply made those up. Even my books, my heart, and mind's blissful escape could do little to help me. The scribe grows so used to what surrounds them each and every day, they begin to take it for granted, and they never think to write just a few lines about it, but for me, to marvel at the great canopy of the sky again is a true blessing. In that case, I imagine you've never set foot in sea waters before. Would you like to try? Step into the sea. Me. Cassie glances uncertainly at the playful foam, licking the sandy shore. Offer her your hand. There's nothing to fear. We shall just let our feet soak a little. Intrigued, she cocks her head to one side. Mischievous dashes of yellow and lilac are floating in the wind like bands all around you. I've never seen you exude such colors before. How unexpected. She gives a quick nod and wearily stretches out her long, narrowed hand. It's cold to the touch. Oh, she's very sweet. Although she is excessively rude to anybody who's not on her level. The sea, it's so wet and cold, and the tiny pebbles tickle my feet. A reserved seriousness gives way to a genuine wonder. I never thought it would be so agreeable. A little startling. Thank you for encouraging me. She catches herself, her expression changing in a flash. She gently frees her hand and awkwardly looks away. You pick a small flower and give it to Cassia. Here's your chance to take a small piece of this place with you. Gingerly, she accepts the flower from your hands. Its petals are like velvet, and the fragrance is both sweet and spicy. A fascinating specimen of the local plant life, and I do not remember seeing it in the great concordance of flora and verdure within the Coronis expanse, recorded by Magos Biologus Floricia. She stops herself sheepishly. Although I suppose I simply ought to thank you for it. The flower is very beautiful indeed. Well, let's move closer and silently take in the view. Cassia relishes every breath of fresh air, her eyes half closed, listening to the sound of birds hidden from view by the treetops. The tips of your fingers touch lightly. Cassia starts, but does not remove her hand. Several minutes pass in timid silence that like mere moments, and eventually she pulls away. This place eases the soul, wouldn't you agree? It's time for us to be on our way. Already? Yes, of course. Cassia gives the azure expanse of the sea a parting glance and whispers quietly. I think I know what my next painting will be. Oh, there were some goods buried under there. Artist's Pendant. The wearer gains +5 fellowship and +10 commerce. If the wearer has dogmatic, adherent, or above, their lore Imperium will depend on fellowship instead of intelligence. Interesting. Okay, so I could give it to you. Ooh, okay. Hang on. That might actually be worth it. Oh, she gets a huge boost to Lore Imperium by wearing this too. Okay, so that's definitely for her. Can only be equipped by a familiar. Okay. Fountain is an expensive toy for the nobility. Pure water is currently bubbling from it, but additional pipes on it indicate the presence of separate siphons for sparkling wine and other beverages. Okay. Do we have anything else going on down here? Does not look like it. No. Alright. There's definitely some shit going on. Okay.
It's about time.
Lord von Valencius, we are most delighted to welcome you as our guest. Would your lordship prefer to speak to the governor alone or with your entourage? I don't want to waste time on this right now. Is there anyone who can let me in to do anything important? Alright, fine. Let's try talking to her by ourselves. Greetings, your lordship. How may I be of assistance? The tech priest mentioned ancient ruins belonging to the Xenos. I know what you're referring to. Strange structures of an unknown material. For the prevention of any unfortunate accidents, I ordered the area to be declared out of bounds for all. Some things are better off left under a thick layer of dirt, beyond the grasp of the enlightened minds of the Adeptus Mechanicus. You neglected to mention the strange changes in the planet's flora and fauna. Megos Vinzilex is a very wise man, but his fixation on evolutionary processes seems a little extreme to me. Janus was heavily cultivated, forests were cleared, mountains raised across half the planet. It's no surprise that we're still noticing the consequences of those changes. It's possible that the plant mutations are connected to waste runoff from the harvesting equipment, and the changes in wildlife behavior could be a reaction to the expansion of the cultivated area. Shakes her head with a laugh. Are you surprised by my knowledge on the topic? Our whole dynasty has dedicated itself to taming Janus, this plentiful yet stubborn planet. Every member of the Viat bloodline is versed in the fundamentals of planetary engineering and its consequences. You're forcing settlements to pay their tithes in human bodies. What? Really? You speak as if you actually believe the claims of those wretched peasants. I do not ask anyone to pay the tithes in human bodies. I'm reducing the burden on the settlements which have suffered as a result of an unsuccessful experiments involving enriched food. And I'm gathering the worst affected subjects, those who are no longer capable of work, for further study. Some among my circle would call such concern for the other class a weakness. A weakness which may have incited rebellion among the emboldened rabble. Okay. Make a save. Okay. So normally we would go for another hour. However, I am starting to feel very fatigued as I am still kind of jet lagged from my trip yesterday, or well, returning home from my trip yesterday. So I think this is a good enough spot to stop on here, as we've made some progress. I was about to go to bed myself. Yeah, it seems like a good time for it. Oh, hey, the bot auto-triggered because you said something. So we will continue this on Thursday. However, we will be starting the stream a little later on Thursday. I posted about it on the Discord. I'll also post about it on Blue Sky as long as I remember tomorrow. But we're going to be starting at 9 p.m. Pacific instead of 7 p.m. I have some stuff I have to do, so I want to give myself a little bit of extra time. And then we will be continuing on Rogue Trader. How far we make it that day, I'm not sure. I at least want to resolve the stuff on this planet and maybe do 1 or 2 other explorations of the other systems. I do really like the planet exploration loop in-game. I love how the like grid combat feels and like the way the ship works, where it's like you have like an acceleration phase and you have to keep moving. You can't just stand still. I find that to be very interesting. And it seems to be that maybe we'll have other ships with us eventually too. Because it's like implied that it keeps calling this our flagship. And usually, you know, your flagship is like one ship in your fleet. So, but that is something that we will maybe figure out a little bit more of next time. Until then, thank you all for joining me. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good night.